One of the first companies I allowed myself to get like very invested in, we'll just call it former job. It it had a lot of really good things going for it. And when I joined, there was the concept of dedicated teams they were starting. And the teams are supposed to be self-led. So no structure. So we had a meeting where in the beginning too, where we made our team charter. And it really sealed the deal for me because I was waiting for an opportunity just like that, but I didn't know it. So it was a great experience for me in a lot of ways. So on this team, we'd been lobbying to get more control of our work because our team was fleshed out now, and like we wanted just more control. So one particular time, one of the bosses, he came in and he gave us that opportunity. So uh, they said, which ones can we do, and which ones do we have to say no to? And they had a list of our projects. They drew them up on the board. They put the timeline up, and they had the resources like as stickies up on the board. And we got to sit there and try and figure out how to schedule the work. And the team didn't want to say no to any of that work. And it was a pretty fun activity. We figured out a way to actually get all of it done. So it was a stretch, but we wanted to try. And part of the plan had people rotating on to the last projects that we didn't start till the end. So it's the last project or two that you're working on. Eventually, everybody ends up there and you swarm that and you work on it at the end. So it meant there was a lot of work, but we were excited because we got the problem solved. And the one issue we did have, though, was one of our star people. He was pulled into some other responsibilities, and it was a product team, and he couldn't get out of it. And we also had a tight deadline because of the plan. So we needed him. So we had a quick team meeting and we made a new plan. We had one night and we called it volunteer time because we didn't like to work overtime. And we definitely wanted to say it was voluntary. And during this time, we would pair program with our star to help him get that work done. And we'd also go ahead and work on our own projects and get set up for that timeline. Remember the whoosh. Uh, so anyone had a reason to stay. So if they couldn't directly help to free up our star guy, we could still, benefit. And the boss stayed as well. And he facilitated supper getting bought. So they ordered it and brought it in, and the company paid for it. And we were already a close team. So everybody had made the best of it too, because we all chose to be there. And we even had people from another team to stay and work. They worked on their stuff just for moral support from our team because everybody was there. And we knew that this was going to help make our plan work too. So we were listening to music. We had the food ordered. Some of us were drinking beers. Um, there's the water cooler chatter, and people buckled down, and we got shit done. And we ended up we were ahead of schedule comfortably. So we took on the whole project load, and we didn't need any more of the volunteer times because we did so well at that one. And the team's plan rocked, and we killed it. And why don't teams always rock the party like that? And I don't think people understand like how motivation works. If we understand it and we analyze it, these situations we can apply them. But most of the time, people seem confused. They don't know how to motivate themselves, let alone how to motivate, other people or get other people to motivate themselves. And that phrasing is actually one of the key parts is you're getting people to motivate themselves. Because motivation isn't something you can do to someone else. So there are ways you can, but if you read like Drive or Punished by Rewards, you'll realize quickly that the external motivators aren't effective. And this story is the workplace implementation of the motivation video that I recorded before. So we can analyze this a little bit. These teams were allowed to self-organize. That's real autonomy is what we had. So we'd been self-organizing from the start, and over time we had success, internally with the team and with the company. And that led the manager to do something really great for a leader to do, especially, and that's delegate more responsibility to the team, part of the work that he in fact did. And we'd been asking for it because we wanted control of our own destiny. If you watch the Maslow's hierarchy video, that'll make more sense. But in order to have that desire, we'd really become a team, and we felt safe in our environment, and we'd had our own success, and we built our own social feedback loops in the team, and because we had a close team. So we were aspiring to that next level, and an appropriate challenge would give us something and continue to grow. So we didn't need them to give us this exercise as a goal for us, because we were self-driven. And this was the opportunity that provided itself to us. And we made our own plan with it. And the boss didn't step in and make us do anything. He watched and reviewed the plan and asked questions, but that meant we owned that plan. No one had to get buy-in from us, and we were gonna drive it on our own. We just needed a little bit of space. And because of that, we were all passionate about the plan. We did what we needed to do in order to get ourselves and set up for success. The company didn't even ask us to work overtime. They said actually that we were allowed to turn down. Which ones do we say no to? And the cool part here is the extra side effect it has. Like on me, I remember that story still. And it's not because we got the company a bunch of money or we did the extra. I loved that whole experience. We were all friends, and we were all fired up, and we were passionate, and we were experiencing that together. And obviously it touched me to be part of it. And that's really what the true motivation and passion is. It's understanding that for yourself, and allows you to understand it for others, but to experience it, then you'll understand it. And this is how we lead other people too. We can, in our friend circle, when we understand it, with our family, as parents, we can do it professionally, but just understanding how to motivate ourselves and people.